Hey Dan, Lane, and Michael. I ran across something. You probably have already seen it, but I know sometimes when we get busy on a project, we may have forgotten some of the cool things. We probably just need to get rid of this stuff here because we're not using those. Just a little housekeeping here. Don't know what that is. Uh, all these, usually, if we're not using them, I just get them out of there. That way there's not an update on something that's not necessary. I know this is just a development site, but it's kind of how I'm not real sure what that is. Looks cool. Anyway, let's go to appearance and then we can go to customize. I just wanted to show you something that I ran across. So, I was talking about how those things come up. You see the job options here? Job options, taxonomy, the map. There's a couple things in there, even like company options. The company can do a map or single, or like here, turn the switch off if you want to disable the company search map. So this thing's really pretty robust. It's got quite a few, the resume options. You see that? So maybe in some of these we can change what we're trying to name it without changing the functionality so that the matches will work, because this does have that option already, that it does already have the feature. And then extra options, the map options and a cookie notice options. Those would be great. There's a couple things here, and this is just overall theme setup so that we wouldn't have to get too crazy with coding. Maybe we can find an avenue or venue that makes the functionality what we're going to do work. This would also depend on Michael and to some degree as to where would we port these licenses. So, it looks good. And then I sent you guys, pardon me so much. I don't know what's got a frog in my throat. But then, we have all this stuff here, in these three sections that might be of benefit to us without having to kill the cow. And then you can see WooCommerce there. So anyway, like the subscriptions, that was going to be step two, but we got to get this first part done where the searches, who am I, where have I worked before, fill out license. Now the employer side is still the same. He just needs to register an account in whatever business name he wants and pay a subscription. Subscription models exist so the WooCommerce part needs to be set up, but it exists on the spreadsheet that I've sent you guys. So the month to month is one pricing, quarterly is another pricing. Month to month and quarterly, they just have to have a 30-day out, or really the month to month, no 30-day out. They pay for a quarter and then they go a quarter. They pay for a month, they go for a month. The only one that would probably require a 30-day cancellation, which I'll do in the terms and conditions or cancellation policy, is the annual one, right? And I'm sorry, I'm looking at the dashboard, my whiteboard. And that'll be an auto renewal annually, but those are the big companies like national, regional, local that are, doing above 15 million plus a year. These guys are doing 30, 40 million a year in all areas of HVAC, plumbing, electrical. So some of the big boys would use this because they need to have people coming at them all year long. The other guys, medium to smaller ones, will just do like plumbing, the peak season's winter, HVAC, the peak season summer. Electrical is kind of all year long. So that's kind of the idea. But there was all of this features that were already in here without us having to be on the back end and doing a ton of coding. Is there something that we can manipulate here that would make it easier? I was just thinking out loud because I was trying to change this logo up here. They've got the one with the tools that looks like a crossbone, right, in the background, but I think it's too tall for this area. So, this one looks good, but it's because it's a white just on blue, we kind of losing the color palette. Where's the light gray, the soft gray, and then there's a ton of good images that they sent that came with that final go-to-market plan. The copy and stuff. Who are we? Why do we exist? Mission statement. These three things defined. They've got all of that good stuff on there. So anyway, just trying to get this drilled in so we can get to the subscription part, and we should be ready to go. I would say mid to late next month is what I was thinking. after we run a couple of tests. But let's talk about this, and I'm going to share this with Michael as well. Thanks.